Grand day, amazing souls. How are you feeling? Yes, it is evening, and I got a transmission for you this late in the evening. So today, I had just gotten this download, and as long as I've been, not as long, but for as long as I've been studying numbers, right, I understand that when I look at the number eight, right? The number eight has two bubbles, one at the top and one at the bottom, right? And I always say that the number eight must use head over heart decisions. So those who were born in August, this month, y'all are leading with this energy. You know how to use your head and heart, right? And sometimes it can become a challenge, but that's life, right? And then those who have the number eight day number, whew, y'all mainly more use your heart or the mind. It's like either or because the day number is the mind, right? And sometimes we can either get in too much in our mind. It's like with that number eight being the day number, you can use either or. And it's not too balanced. And I'm not saying this is for all, but those who know themselves can resonate with this. The number eight represents the inner authority, the inner strength, right? That strength. Um, what else? It's finances, right? Especially those who have that number eight in the day number, whether it's 17 or whether it's 8 or whether it's 26, right? It can become a real challenge for you. Um, Life path number eight. You know, y'all are really great at knowing how to connect with your finances. You are the boss. This is your life's purpose, your life path. To know how to be financially stable. You've mastered something or you remember the mastering of something, right? Y'all know how to get to your financial gains. Look, planet Earth is y'all playground and y'all play it well. Okay? Y'all have that inner strength, that inner authority, and y'all don't allow people to play with your name. Y'all standing 10 toes down, you know? Um, so the point of this transmission is you have to have you have to use inner strength, inner authority, right? And this is for everyday life or anything, right? Keep this in mind. So, one thing that I understand is that we, as energetic vibrational beings, right, we tend to allow others into our vibration, into our energetic field, and vice versa, right? When we connect with someone, think of it as a frequency, a frequency going out, and that another individual has that a frequency as well, whether it's a dog, whether it's a person, whether it's a cat. It's all about energy, frequency, and vibration, right? And think of it like this: if someone is in a disturbed state of mind, right, you could absorb that if you don't know your inner strength, if you don't know how to turn that empathy dial up or down, right? Um, so being able to embody that inner strength and know how to wield it is one of your biggest. And I used to have a saying on my wall. It says my energy is my greatest asset, 444, which is all facts, right? So there has to be balance of head and heart. Remember that there are individuals who have a mindset that is chaotic, um, that is depressive, that is y'all know these individuals with these mindsets. And then, you have those whose hearts are not in the right place. Their intentions aren't in the right place. Now imagine if you are not wielding your energy in a productive manner. You could absorb these energies. And that's what it means to really have a head and heart balance. You have to know your values. You have to know your morals. You have to know and stand on your standards, right? All of these things are very pertinent to you becoming your greatest version, right? So always remember that your head and heart has to be centered. That is why the heart is in the center. But your mind, remember, you get these messages or thoughts. Sometimes these thoughts are not yours, and you got to ask yourself, well, wait a minute, whose thought is this anyway? Right? And once you're able to balance that, you know what are your thoughts and what aren't your thoughts. And look, it's so crazy because I'm not saying that I am completely balanced, right? But I am complete, right? However, it is a challenge sometimes because sometimes I don't know which emotions are mine, right? Or know when I am absorbing someone else's energy, right? So always be mindful of this and keep this in mind when you're vibrating with others, even being online, like watching a YouTube video, right? Make sure you have a balanced head and heart. That's how you stay balanced, folks. That is how you stay balanced. Mind your emotions and mind your thoughts. And you do those two things, and baby, you have a whole balance. Yes, you do. So, that is the end of this transmission today. If you haven't heard this today, I love you. I love me. I love us. I love we. I love being in balance. I love staying balanced. I am balanced. Okay? Peace.